my wife bought me a book on ADHD, and a part of my problem is I ain't got the patience to read. So I can't read up on myself. I've got it there in my bag, and every time I go, I can't be arsed.
You can be arsed.
I can't be arsed reading. I've read one book in my life.
Hello, welcome to Two Pints with Will and Ralph, Swift Half. This is our episode 2 Swift Half.
Yes.
So I thought what we would do is we said we would in the previous episode. We said we would actually we asked people to write in with their questions.
Yes.
And they did. And what we've had a tendency to do in the past is sort of ask people to write in with stuff, but then we get so kind of we go off down some tangent. We don't get to them. So we're going to use this Swift Half to kind of honour the fact that people have made the effort to talk about them. So straight into it, Lolo167TC has said, what one thing would you change about yourself?
I would change.
Before you say this,
What?
I'm wondering if you want to try and do this instead.
What?
What one thing would you change about me? And what would I change about you?
No, fair to myself.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
We'll fall out.
Yeah.
You're like, everything.
Yeah. No, to be honest, about myself, I overthink, and I never used to, and it's getting worse. I overthink everything. And sometimes it keeps me awake. I overthink, and my brain, I'm trying to stop doing it, but I overthink about things that I can't change, and that bothers me.
Yeah.
Do you know what things about the past? And oh, why did it? Oh, shit. Do you know what's it called? You self-flog. You flog yourself.
Self-flagellation.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Self-flatulation.
Flagellation.
Right. I do a lot of self-flatulation.
Listen, you do a lot of self-flatulation, and I've been known to do a bit of I'm an expert in the flagellation, especially during lockdown when there was nowhere to go.
Right. Yeah. Apparently fighting is good for you. That's what I've read. Anyway, yes, I do beat myself up a bit. And you know what? I know I'm a decent person because I walk around trying to be the best person I can be. But then things that I overthink everything. It's just, that I would change. I wish I was a bit more free-spirited like I used to be. Because the older I've got, and with kids and responsibility and, life, I've started to overthink a bit too much. What about you?
Well, I want to talk about that a little bit and be semi-serious for a sec. You definitely, I've spent a lot, not only have I spent a lot of time with you, but I've spent more time with you in the last 4 or 5 years than I have consistently any other time of life. And even in the last 4 or 5 years, I've noticed sort of different ways in which you think, often more productively, but also you've talked about this kind of thing a lot. And I have, I noticed that we, but you in particular, were much more carefree and happy-go-lucky when you were younger.
Yeah.
I am by no means an expert in this, is just guesswork, but part of me wonders if what that was you've always had this in you, but when you are younger, it is easier to just, you don't have responsibilities, you don't have fears, you don't have mortality, all this sort of stuff. You just mask anything that's within you, any kind of, whether it's anxiety or whatever. I think I know I did. It's easier to kind of mask and go, oh, well, fuck it. What's happening tomorrow, right? Yeah. And these things can creep up on you. A friend of mine, I'm just going to flag this up. A friend of mine was recently got an ADHD diagnosis. Yeah. And I know that that's all happening a lot now. Yeah. And it's very easy to go, oh, well, this is just a fad. But not necessarily. It could just be that it's more recognized now. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying, hey, you're not talking to a medical health professional. I'm just saying a friend of mine got a diagnosis and they felt really positive about just being able to go, okay, I can name this. This is a real thing. I'm not just, I'm not just oh, why don't you calm down or whatever.
But the thing is, for me, is I did get diagnosed by somebody.
Have you had a diagnosis?
But not, because I took my daughter in to be tested and stuff, and then they said, well, obviously you've got ADHD, and they said, well, as soon as you walked in, I mean, it's obvious. And there's, they said that? Yeah, they did, yeah. Right, which is fine.
Why, because you're smashing your Imodium?
The thing is then, my wife bought me a book on ADHD, and a part of my problem is I ain't got the patience to read. So I can't read up on myself. I've got it there in my bag, and every time I go, I can't be arsed.
it can be asked.
I can't be arsed reading. I've read one book in my life, you know what I mean? And I had to force myself to do that because Michelle said, it's good for you to read. So, but you know, that's probably a thing. I think the more I know about myself, the better, because I might be less self-flogging of myself.
This is turning into a sort of more serious Swift Half than I expected, but there's no problem with that. So let me ask you this question. I have never had... Right, let me step back a second. There's loads of articles out at the moment about Ozempic, right? And so as amongst loads of other things, I'm interested in Manjaro. So because I'm interested in stuff, I'm reading a lot of articles about this along with loads of other stuff. And one of the things that keeps popping up is talk about a phrase that I had previously not heard called food noise. And people say the thing that is most amazing for me about this, I've tried diets and sometimes I've been successful and sometimes whatever, but not even at my most successful, food noise has still been in the back of my mind. I'm always like, oh, I could just have a piece of this, or I could just have that, I could just have that. Now, I've never had it. I've never had noise of any kind in my head. Just however my brain works, my neurochemistry does not have that. And so until I was reading these articles, if I'm really honest, I was probably a bit of a dick. I was probably a bit unsympathetic about it. I would probably be a bit like, well, look, if you want to lose weight, just fucking lose weight. Like, just eat less, move more, as people. And there is truth to that. Yeah. But it's a damn sight. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. And it's a damn sight harder to do that if your brain has noise constantly going, eat this, do this, right? I don't have it, but understanding that other people had it gave me a new perspective and went, okay, I can see that must be hard. All of this is a way of me coming to you to go, you might not have food noise, but do you just have noise in your head? Is there often like just thoughts just whirling around that are kind of unhelpful, just noise that's in there?
It's not unhelpful. It's more, because I'm creative. My brain's creating
about stuff.
Yeah, I overthink everything. Like if I'm going somewhere new, I panic about it. Like I'll be like, well, what if it's not what I want it to be? Because really? I like to be in control of what it is. And then once I get there, I need a bit of time, and then I'm all right with it. It's like hotels or places I go, or restaurant, anything that's sort of new.
Do you have a vision of how you want it to be? And then if it's not that,
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Really,
it bothers me. And my wife says, you do this every time. I know, but I can't help it. And I voice everything. So I'm like catchphrase. Whatever's in my head, I just say it. Right. So I'm constantly monologuing.
Sometimes I'll be walking down the street with you. You don't do it often, but sometimes, or you'll be driving, and you'll go. And I went, there's one time I went, what was that? And you went, did I do that out loud?
Just sometimes, That's my wife calls it blip. She said, you've got a blip. So my nickname's Blip. It's just sometimes I hit me head I hit myself in the face with the remote control.
I've seen you do that. I've seen you just go.
It's just crackers. But that's part of me.
I also once saw you try and you were trying to fill out an online form.
Oh my God, I hate doing that.
And you were like, oh, I'll type this in. And you just went, why won't you do this right? Form. I was like,
maybe you took off and you went, here you go. It's just that.
I just went, I'll do it. Yeah. Pass it to your old.
Exactly. Listen, you haven't answered. What's yours? What would you change about yourself?
Change about myself? Nothing really. I'm pretty fucking great.
Fuck off.
What would I change about myself? Honestly? I wouldn't change this about myself because I could, and I haven't, and I probably never will.
Right.
I never will.
Go on.
This is not a joke answer. This is quite serious.
I'm ready. I'm strapped in.
I would change my nose.
Right.
And that sounds like a shallow, but it's a weirdly...
Not shallow, it bothers you.
Weirdly profound thing to say. Well, it doesn't bother me. I've come to just
why
be like...
would you change? But it's you now, isn't it? So what's the problem?
That's my point. I wouldn't change it. The story it's a very long story, and frankly, it's a tough story to talk about, but a series of extraordinarily odd Jerry Springer-like events in my life that were nothing to do with me when I was 17 happened to some friends of mine. I'm being very careful about how I talk about this, but basically some fucking mad shit drama going on that was nothing to do with me.
Right.
And one of the lads who was involved, we went out. I took him out, and I was driving, and as we were out the car, and as we were walking back up towards the car, I turned around to speak to him, and he just went with his elbow smash across the side of my face and splashed my nose right across the side of my face.
Why did he do that?
Because he was having a mental breakdown from all the mad shit that was going on in his life. We're talking about the best. It's not my business to talk about, but when I say Jerry Springer shit, I'm talking about mad shit you wouldn't believe.
But why did he hit you?
Who knows? I was there, right? So this happened to me without any input from me at all. It was like this horrible assault, really.
Wow.
Now, what then happened was I got in my car and I drove to the hospital, and it weirdly didn't hurt that much. Like it wasn't like it was really painful, but the blood was pouring from all over my shirt. And I got in my car because I was supposed to be designated driver that night, but he just smashed me in the face and legged it, right? Wow. So I got in my car on my own, driving to the hospital, just furious, not upset or anything, just furious. And I turned the rearview mirror after about 5 minutes to look at myself, and I'll never forget, the face that was looking back at me was not me. And I burst into tears, sobbing.
Wow.
Because of the shock of going, I don't know who that person is. The not funny, but the sad twist of that story is this. I had been cast in the royal family.
Yeah.
And we were due to start filming a week later. So I can't turn up I'm 17. They'll just recast me.
Jesus, you must have been shitting yourself.
So, and I'm honestly, my nose, I mean, I know it's not straight now, but it was here, the side of my face. It was horrendous. And it's quite difficult to talk about. So I went home, that was it. So they couldn't do anything in the hospital. And they thought I'd fucking been in a fight. They thought I'd got pissed and been in a fight. They're like, we've got people coming in here with, asthma attacks or whatever. It looks bad, but you're not a priority. But I'm just all over the place at this point. So I went home, and my mum, bless her, rung around and managed to find, she said, we'll pay for a private surgery, because this was the Friday night. So that on the Monday morning, I went for surgery. But the guy said to me, he said, you've got to understand, under normal circumstances, we would let all the swelling go down. It's hugely swollen. We'd let the bruising go down around your eyes. We'd let all the swelling go down, and then we know what we're dealing with, and then we can reset it back to how it was. But if you have to have it this Monday morning because you've got a read through for a new job that might change your entire life in a week's time, if you have to get it done now, I will do the best I can. And I had to, at 17, make that decision and go, this show, The Royal Family, might change my entire life. It might give me a whole career, but it will be a career in which everybody in the world knows me, how I don't look. This is not how I look. This is not my face.
Oh.
So he reset it as best he could. But as you can see, it's fucking terrible. Right?
It's you though.
So it is me, and I've come to accept it. And I would never I know I have the capability.
Would you go back for surgery and have it?
No.
Because now people know you as you.
It's twofold. One, I feel personally that my acceptance of it has power in some way for me, just to go, it is what it is. It's okay.
Yeah.
And two, being very realistic in our industry and our job, I think it would be weird for me to suddenly turn up to an audition or to this or to another show and have a completely. We're not talking about like a little change. It would be completely different.
Do you remember her from Dirty Dancing?
Exactly,
Jennifer
Grey.
She changed her nose.
She changed her nose because she never liked her nose as baby, but she was very beautiful, very sexy, very fantastic. She was fantastic in it, and she changed her nose, and it
doesn't look like her anymore.
Didn't look like her, so people didn't cast her anymore. So it's twofold. On the one hand, I think there is some power in keeping it, and on the other hand, I'm worried about what it might mean for my career, which leaves me a bit hamstrung. But that's a very long answer to say, if I could,
you would change that incident happening. So
I would change my nose
that moment
magically. Yeah. I can, but I won't.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a little bit more intense than I expected it to be, but there you go. That's us with half.
Okay. Well,
Let's see for some laughs for the next one.
yeah. Well, you know what, Lo? We ask questions. When we get asked questions, we don't prepare answers. We do it on the hoof.
Yeah.
So what you get is what you get, people.
There it is.
And that's one thing about this podcast is we can have a laugh, we can joke around, but we will talk openly and honestly.
Yeah. Plus, it's never stopped me getting bucket loads of pussy. So,
If only it was true.